Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, S.D.O.T just filed their 8K report and I'm seeing a crucial update about their financial results. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. The company is announcing their latest earnings and there are some forward-looking statements that investors really need to pay attention to. This is a current report on Form 8K filed by Sadot Group Inc. These reports are used to announce major events that shareholders should know about. Think of it like a company's official bulletin board for big news. The earliest event reported here happened on the 14th of August 2026. This is the date we're focusing on for the information within this filing. The company in question is Sadot Group Inc. They are listed on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol S.D.O.T. One thing to note is that Sadot Group Inc. is identifying itself as an emerging growth company. This means they are a smaller company that can follow certain sexy rules with some flexibility, especially when it comes to financial reporting. They have elected not to use the extended transition period for complying with new or revised financial accounting standards, meaning they are on the faster track for adopting new accounting rules. Now, let's get to the core of this filing. Item 2.02 is where companies announce their financial results and operational status. On the 14th of August 2026, Sadot Group Inc. released a press announcement detailing their financial performance for the 3 and 6 month ending on the 30th of June 2026. This is essentially their latest earnings report. The actual press release is attached as an exhibit, which we will talk about. This part is important for how the information is treated legally. When a company says information is furnished and not filed, it means they are providing it for public disclosure, but are not making themselves liable under certain sections of securities laws, like Section 18 of the Exchange Act. It is a bit of legal nuance, but basically, they are sharing the info without taking on the same level of legal responsibility as if they had formally filed it under those specific rules. This information will not automatically be part of other company filings unless they explicitly say so. This next section is critical. It is the forward-looking statements disclaimer. Companies use this to tell you that some of the things they talk about are just their hopes and expectations about the future, not guarantees. This means that statements made in this report and in the attached press release might be about future events. They are protected by specific laws that let companies talk about their future plans and expectations without being sued if those plans don't work out, as long as they are not intentionally misleading. This is a long list, but it highlights key areas of focus for the company and its investors. They are talking about preliminary revenue for July 2026, how their Tradios platform might perform, and crucially whether they can keep their stock listed on the NASDAQ. Maintaining a NASDAQ listing is huge for a small company. They are also discussing their cash situation, whether they can stay in business long term if they can get more money or deal with existing debts. There is also mention of potential dilution, meaning the value of existing shares could go down if new shares are issued, and if they have enough approved shares to issue if needed. It is a lot of forward-looking stuff, so it is essential to understand these are not promises. They are pointing you to their risk factors sections in other filings for the real details on what could go wrong. This is standard practice, but it is a good reminder to always check those sections for a full picture of potential downsides. This section just lists the exhibits that are part of this filing. The main exhibit here is Exhibit 99.1, which is the actual press release from the 14th of August 2026 containing the financial results. Exhibit 104 is the cover page data in an interactive format, which is common for SEC filings. Now, finally, the signatures section. This is where the company officials sign off on the report, confirming they are authorized to do so. Haggai Ravid, the Chief Executive Officer, has signed this report. The report is dated the 14th of August 2026, aligning with the earliest event date. Now, let's dig into the press release that is referenced here, Exhibit 99.1, because that is where the actual financial numbers and juicy details are. Simulated transition to discussing Exhibit 99.1. Looking at the press release, Sadot Group Inc. announced their financial results for the 3 and 6 months ended the 30th of June 2026. They mentioned preliminary revenue for July 2026. This is important because it gives a very recent snapshot of their sales performance. They also talk about the Tradios platform and its potential contribution. This suggests they are investing in new technology to drive future growth, which is a key strategic move for companies in this sector. One of the most concerning, yet important forward-looking statements relates to the company's ability to maintain its listing on the NASDAQ. They specifically mention complying with NASDAQ listing rule 5,550 byte in their next quarterly report. This rule often pertains to financial thresholds like minimum market capitalization or revenue. Failing to meet these requirements could lead to delisting, which would be a significant blow to the company and its shareholders, making it harder to trade the stock. Companies that face delisting threats often see their stock price plummet. We saw something similar with other companies struggling to meet exchange requirements, and it usually does not end well for existing investors. They are also very clear about their liquidity and ability to continue as a going concern. This phrasing is a serious warning sign. It means there is doubt about whether the company can stay in business for the next year. This is often linked to cash flow problems, significant debt, or operational challenges. Companies that face a going concern warning have struggled, and many, like Bed Bath & Beyond or Tupperware in recent years, have eventually gone bankrupt or been acquired in distress. A company in this position needs to secure financing or cut costs drastically to survive. The report also flags potential dilution from convertible instruments. This means that if people holding convertible debt or options decide to convert them into shares, the total number of outstanding shares will increase. This can reduce the ownership percentage of existing shareholders and potentially lower the earnings per share. For example, if a company has 1 million shares and issues another 1 million through conversions, your 100 shares are now only 50% of the company instead of 100%. This can be a significant factor, especially for smaller companies where even small amounts of dilution can have a noticeable impact. Looking at the numbers, which are typically found in the attached press release, we'd want to see revenue trends, net income, and cash flow. While this 8K doesn't contain the detailed tables, the press release it references would. Based on the forward-looking statements, it seems the company is facing significant financial headwinds, including potential liquidity issues and the need to meet NASDAQ listing requirements. The mention of Tradio's platform suggests a strategic pivot or investment, but its success is clearly uncertain and tied to their overall survival. The fact that they are so upfront about liquidity and going concern issues, coupled with the NASDAQ listing pressure, paints a picture of a company in a precarious position. Investors need to be extremely cautious and scrutinize any future financing or operational plans very carefully. The market's reaction to this news, as seen in recent headlines about surges and traders circling deals, might be driven by speculative activity rather than fundamental strength, especially given the small market cap. Overall, Sadot Group Inc. is navigating a challenging period. The focus on maintaining its NASDAQ listing and addressing liquidity concerns are the most critical issues right now. The success of their new platforms and their ability to secure further funding will be key determinants of their future. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Check out the Discord in the description.